Oh, yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That is actress Sheryl Lee Ralph belting out her joy after winning her first Emmy Award for Best Supporting Actress in ABC's Abbott Elementary. Her acceptance singing brought the audience to its feet during the 74th Annual Primetime Emmy Awards last night.
Oh, man. So joining us now with a look at who won and why is Matt Roush, senior critic and writer for TV Guide. Welcome back to the show. Good to see you again. So first off, it was his first time hosting the Primetime Emmy. So what do you think about comedian Kenan Thompson? How did he do as a host?
Well, he was playful. I think that is the most generous thing you can say about him. He was playful. He kept the tone light, but I don't think that he really had the oomph to really make the show pop in a way. And that opening number with the dance sequence to the TV theme songs giving hip hop sort of an edge, it was kind of unnecessary. It kind of felt like a halftime show being wedged into a show. It was already overstuffed. I mean, he's a likable guy, no question about it. And so I think that he doesn't do himself any damage. But during that bit, later in the show when Jimmy Kimmel was playing dead, I was like, oh man, Jimmy Kimmel could have really nailed this night. He could have had that sort of edge to him that Kenan lacked, I think. So it was a very genial performance, but also forgettable.
Yeah, I've been seeing all Twitter is all about the Jimmy Kimmel moment there. So some good and some bad thoughts about that. But there were three shows.
Best moment, yeah.
Yeah. There were three shows that rose to the top in the big awards. HBO's Succession, of course, was the most nominated show with 25 Emmys. And they did pretty well, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The thing about the Emmys, and this year in particular, it just felt like, the one thing that TV tends to hate is repeats. And this was definitely like a repeat Emmy where Succession 2 times out of the last 3 years it has won. Last year's big comedy champ, Ted Lasso, won. And so, yeah, there was a sense that as the night went on, there were a few surprises, and Sheryl Lee Ralph was heads and shoulders above everybody else in terms of surprise. Number one, she's from a network show, and network broadcast TV is almost invisible at the Emmys. Plus, what she did on that stage was just so remarkable. There was a lot of elements of the night that were about female empowerment. Lizzo had one as well. Oprah, kicked the night off, giving out the first award with this pep talk about, believe in yourself. And that was a theme that carried through the night. Otherwise, just who won, it was like, well, who won before is who wins now. And that's a little bit dispiriting when you see the variety of TV that's out there. The fact is, we're an embarrassment of riches in television nowadays, and giving the award to the same show over and over again just feels a little bit lazy.
All right. Well, Apple TV's Ted Lasso also took some top comedy honors for their second season. What all did they come away with for those that may have missed it?
Well, yeah, you said Ted Lasso and several of its actors won again, Jason Sudeikis and Brett Goldstein, who plays the foul-mouthed player and now coach on the show. I mean, it's a lovable show, no question about it. But you also had the Abbott Elementary there from the network television that won the writing award. Quinta Brunson really came into her own this year. Sheryl Lee Ralph won that award. And there was a sense that maybe network TV won't be quite so invisible going forward. But no, it didn't happen. And in drama, with Succession, there was that thought that maybe Squid Game could pull a Parasite and be a non-English language series, global phenomenon that could win the drama prize. But that didn't happen.
Yeah, so it is interesting seeing the dynamic between ABC with Abbott Elementary versus all the streaming platforms. What are we looking at moving forward? Because Netflix did have a few good shows this year, of course. Stranger Things, Squid Game, Ozark, for instance. Which direction do you think we're going to head towards?
Well, I think in the future, we're always going to see this battle between HBO and Netflix because they're the two dominant purveyors of a product, really, and maybe Prime Video with their Lord of the Rings. We'll see what happens there. But really, Netflix just does it with volume. They have so many shows. HBO is more like a boutique, but each of their shows really has impact. Look at White Lotus. It swept the limited series category. Everything it could possibly win, it won. And, there was other really good work in there, like Dope Sick from Hulu about the opioid crisis. There were some great docudramas, but White Lotus just swept it. So I think you'll see going forward still a battle between those two giants, and maybe someday another network show can pop. But they didn't even nominate This Is Us for its final season on NBC, and that might be the last great network drama. And it's kind of sad to see it ignored that way.
Oh, that is such a good point. Matt Roush, senior critic and writer for the TV Guide, thank you so much for taking the time out. We appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.